Hi, my name is Pranav Kapoor and I am the 8th generation perfumer. My family has been in the business for about 200 years, making me the 8th generation. I am the 8th generation in the business of perfumery. Like I said, my family has been in the business for about 200 years and I'm the 8th generation that's kind of taking it forward. So the first generation to start, I mean, it won't be the first generation that started it, but the perfumery was started in 1816 because we have records from that. It probably dated much before that because obviously 200 years cannot span 8 generations, but we have records from 1816, so that's the year it officially started, we'll say. So the records of the perfumery date back to about 1816, and I'm sure that a couple of my ancestors before that went into the business as well, but we don't have the records. We have them only from 1816, so I would say the year of inception of perfumery in the family started in 1816. So perfume tourism was basically combining both my experience as a chef with that of my family lineage, and it only made sense to join these two because they both share a lot of similar ground. Also, the whole idea is to essentially put Kannauj on the global tourist map as a preferred destination for experience-based travel. So this is how the idea was essentially born. A nice mix of both my family lineage with that of my culinary background. So the perfumes in Kannauj are essentially made from flowers, wood and spices. We have jasmine and rose that grows in Kannauj, very fertile land for the growth of jasmine and rose, and we have vetiver that also happens here. So these are essentially the ingredients that are used for the perfumeries in Kannauj, which others are made out of essentially. So the flowers are grown in Kannauj in and around farms. The farmers have generationally been growing flowers that they supply to the perfumery industry, and all of this produce is locally sourced. Everything that is made in Kannauj in the perfumery is from the local land. Yes, so our products are both available in alcohol and flowers. Also because alcohol is a carrier, so when you want to make a spray out of perfume, you need to use alcohol for it. And otherwise, we also have the natural oil, which is now quite a rage internationally and in India as well. So, well, the oil has never gone out of style because it was always a part of history, as oils were essentially what were being used in ancient India as well. So the products are available both in oil form as well as in alcohol. You don't make perfume from alcohol. Alcohol is added to essential oils to create a spray. So that is what the role of alcohol is. It's a dilutant and it also helps spread the fragrance in the form of a spray because the spray is technically used on clothes and you don't want to stain your clothes with oil stains. Hence alcohol, because alcohol will evaporate and leave the scent, which is about 15 to 20% behind on your clothes or your skin. The methods we use for perfumery have been, it's not just traditional but it's heritage. This practice of using the copper stills and steam distillation has been going on in Kannauj for the last 1000 years minimum. And to carry on the tradition forward, to do what my ancestors was doing, is something that we wanted to take forward, not only for my generation but the generations that are yet to come in Kannauj in the years moving forward. It's also kind of streamlining things for them because traditionally it's a very rich method of extraction of oil, and the produce that comes out of it cannot be substituted by any other modern technique, which is why Europe is still buying fragrances from Kannauj even today, because the fragrance that you get out of the handmade skill cannot be replaced with any modern technology. And it is also about carrying forward a legacy, not just of my ancestors but of the city as well. The city has had this method of distillation going on for thousands of years. So it's about keeping up this art alive, keeping up the heritage of India alive through practices like this. A unique fragrance composition is created by taking, in the fragrance we have a top, middle and base note. So essentially you would take something that can elevate the fragrance as a base note, which does not overpower it. So you'll take sandalwood, you'll take vetiver, you'll take vanilla. These are like subtle notes that kind of help the other notes to move forward. Yeah, I think basically the idea is, if I was to create a fragrance, I would probably take inspiration something, maybe a memory, or maybe let's just say I would take inspiration from a moment in time, a history, a place, a geographical location or nature. nature. So these are the, even a recipe for that matter. So these are the inspiration that I would take before I go, and base my fragrances off of something like this. Like I said in the previous point, that the method of distillation that we use over here is completely unique to Kannauj. It is native to Kannauj and unique to Kannauj, and nobody else in the country is actually doing the steam bhabka. I mean, there are pockets here and there, but Kannauj is the perfume capital of India, and this is where it has always taken place. So this is what makes it stand out, because the craft is generational. The people, the skilled artisans, the skilled artisans that are actually manning the stills, they themselves are generational and have been employed for the last 3 odd decades. So it's a very unique thing for Kannauj, and it's passed down from father to son. So I think that makes it super unique. Flowers, wood, spices, these are essentially what is used to create perfumes of Kannauj. So Kannauj holds a special place, of course, because like I said, like we have been exporting to a global audience since the late 50s and 1960s. So, and Kannauj historically has been known to provide fragrances to the royal courts, be it the Mughals or the Nawabs of Awadh, or even the Nawabs of Hyderabad for that matter. And before that, during Harshvardhan's time, of course, fragrance was booming in Kannauj, even in that period during the 6th century. So the significance of Kannauj is that it's a historic town. It is steeped in history. It dates back to 1500 BC. The method of distillation that has been been practiced in Kannauj for centuries remains unchanged even today, and it's the perfume capital of India. So I think these are things that really make it stand out, where people from all over the world want to come down and visit Kannauj and take part in this process of distillation, take part in the flower plucking process, and also even in the creation of their own unique scent. So yeah, Kannauj has a huge significance, and now perfume tourism is only going to boost that even more and make it reach to a nationwide audience as well as an international clientele.